The New York Knicks look poised to make a run at the NBA title this season. They had a busy offseason that saw them trade for Mel Bridges, re-sign Anobi, and they extended Jaylen Brunson on a bargain deal. They did lose Isaiah Hartenstein, but the Knicks will be one of the most feared teams in the league. The Knicks are one of the few teams that can match the Celtics' blueprint and arguably overtake them in the East. Now, in this one, I'm going to be taking a look at the New York Knicks and why I think they are going to have an excellent upcoming season. If y'all can do me a favor, please hit a like on the video, helps it a ton. And also please subscribe to the channel for more Knicks content just like this. And shout out to today's sponsor, BetUS. The Knicks, they shook up the NBA and they shocked their fans when they traded a majority of their future draft picks and Bogdanovich for Mel Bridges. The Knicks went all in with this move. And the price for acquiring Bridges included 4 unprotected first-round picks plus a first-round swap, protected first-round pick, and multiple second-rounders. So they had to pay a pretty penny to get this thing done. However, Bridges could very well be the piece that fully pushes the Knicks into championship contention. It's a steep price, but you look at Bridges and what he's going to bring, it's a lot of good things. He's going to be a major upgrade at that shooting guard spot. He's going to replace Bogdanovich in the rotation, and Bridges, obviously the much better player and fit. I think this is a perfect puzzle piece for the Knicks. And even in a down year, you look at Bridges, he still nailed 38% of his catch and shoot threes. He's also an extremely underrated off-ball mover and cutter. And defensively, Bridges, he did take a step back in Brooklyn, but that was thanks to his increased offensive role. But let's not forget, he was an all-defensive player and second in Defensive Player of the Year voting just 2 seasons prior when he was in a complementary role and had pieces around him. He's going to be in that type of role here in New York. So the Knicks, they now boast arguably the 2 best 3-and-D wings in the league. And this is going to push guys like Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart to the bench, which gives the Knicks just an outstanding rotation from top to bottom. And this leaves Brunson as the only defensive weak point in the starting unit, and it allows for the Knicks to run lineups that are filled with plus defenders. So Bridges coming on over, he's going to be in the starting lineup. The fact that the Knicks were able to re-sign OG, absolutely huge for this team. Now, before we get into the OG and Anobi re-signing and what it means, I do want to quickly shout out today's video sponsor, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Guys, go check out BetUS today. They are currently offering a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. BetUS, extremely easy to use. I mean, you can bet on just about anything. And really, if you look at the NBA championship futures, the New York Knicks, they are plus 900. They are actually one of the top teams when it comes to winning the title for the season, and rightfully so. They made the upgrades. Their roster looks really good. So if you like the Knicks making it all the way, even to get out of the East, you can bet on that as well. You can definitely sprinkle some money on that. If you are looking for a new book this basketball season, BetUS is the answer. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So the Knicks, their other big move was inking Anobi to a 5-year, $212.5 million extension, and his deal was actually the 15th largest in NBA history at the time it was agreed to, which it could be seen as absurd for a player who is yet to make an all-star team, but the Knicks needed to bring back Anobi because bringing back Anobi is such a big piece here that it's a big reason why the Knicks have put themselves in the conversation for the 2025 NBA championship. You look at Anobi, what he means. He's the definition of just being such a valuable player on this Knicks team. He's an elite defender who averaged 14.1 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.7 steals while shooting 39.4% from 3 following his trade to New York. And the Knicks were an outstanding 20-3 with Anobi in the lineup. That is unbelievable. And they were 30-29 without him last year. And the defensive combination he will now provide next to Bridges on the wing, oh my goodness, they are going to rival some of the league's best teams. And really, they might have the recipe to combat what the Celtics got going on. So Anobi's not expected to be an all-star, but instead he is viewed as the player that turns the Knicks from good to great, and he is just an extremely valuable piece. Now, the major concern with Anobi is his health. He played in just 50 games last season and hasn't played in over 70 in a single year. since his rookie season with the Raptors back in 2017-18. However, the Knicks, they have kind of put themselves in a position here where they could find a way to preserve Anobi and make sure he's healthy for a playoff run. They could bring him along slowly. I'm not going to say they're going to use the whole load management thing, but they don't necessarily need to run Anobi to the ground during the regular season with how they are now positioned. So as long as OG is fully healthy come playoff time, I mean, that is going to put the Knicks in an absolutely fabulous position overall. Then you look at the Knicks' biggest move. It was arguably the Jaylen Brunson deal. Jaylen Brunson was recently named the team captain for the Knicks, which is huge in its own right. But you look at Brunson, it was unbelievable what he did. The Knicks and Brunson agreed to a 4-year, $156.5 million contract extension, $113 million less guaranteed than he is eligible to sign for a year from now. And this is just massive risk from Brunson. However, his decision to push back his most lucrative NBA paydays tells you that his priority remains to maximize the prime of his career and this franchise's most talented, deepest roster since the 90s. Brunson with the ultimate team move here, because you look at Brunson, the repercussions of him choosing the 4-year, $156.5 million max deal over the 5-year, $269.1 million deal in 2025 are massive for the Knicks' ability to keep this team together and continue to make roster moves and tweaks to close the gap on a championship. And Brunson's deal keeps the Knicks out of the second apron level of the salary cap, and that would have severely limited this team's ability to make trades, sign players, and use draft picks. So Brunson just allowing the Knicks the ultimate flexibility in this situation. And Brunson actually studied championship organizations and their stars like Mahomes, like Brady. So Brunson wants the win. He realizes that him doing what he does keeps this Knicks team together and really puts them in a position where they can compete for titles. However, another big piece in all this will be what's going to happen with Julius Randle. Because you look at Randle, guys, he is set to make $28.9 million this season and has a player option for 2025-2026 that he can decline to hit free agency next summer. And Randle is currently extension eligible with a max extension coming to 4 years, $181 million. There is a problem, though, with giving Randle a max extension. It would likely push the Knicks into the second apron, and that would really hurt the team's ability to build through free agency and trades. If the Knicks hit the second apron, it will basically undo the team-friendly $156 million extension that Jaylen Brunson took with the Knicks this summer. Therefore, it's been a popular idea suggested out there that Randle should take a discount. Bobby Marks of ESPN even said he doubts that the Knicks will give Randle his max. However, that might not be such a hot idea with Randle. So that is a big question mark of what's ultimately going to happen with Julius Randle. Does he fit the long-term picture of this team? And another big question is the center position, because Mitchell Robinson, he is injury prone. Losing Hardenstein was massive. So the Knicks, I think they're going to have to address the center position at some point over the next coming months or even at the trade deadline. I think they need some more reassurance at that position if they want to make a deep playoff run, because they are a little thin with their front court depth. They obviously did bring back Precious Achiuwa, but I think they will need to make a move there, like I said, probably around the trade deadline. But the bottom line, the Knicks are a title contender. I mean, Jaylen Brunson, he's really emerged as an elite guard, superstar type player, if you will, and now the Knicks have two-way wings in Anobi and Bridges to match up with the powerhouse Celtics. You still got Julius Randle. You're going to have a lethal bench. This is a really good team, and I do think the Knicks are going to be much better than they were a season ago. I do think this is going to work with Bridges entering the fold, and I think when you look at the Eastern Conference right now, you have to slate the Knicks as the second best team just behind the Boston Celtics, but they may have bridged that gap a whole time. So do not underestimate what the Knicks can do this season. They were so good when they were healthy last season. So we will see how they look going into this season. But clearly, the Knicks, they have gone all in. They recognize their window to win is now, and they are really going after it. So let me know how you feel about the Knicks. Knicks fans, do you think this team is going to do some big things this season? Do you think they can overtake Boston and get out of the East? Let me know your thoughts. Again, shout out to today's video sponsor, BetUS. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.